don't know if I should do this with the light on, where I look super pale and weird, or with the light off, where I look dark. Hello people! So I'm finally making a video since I made this channel like 8,000 years ago and never did anything. The reason I haven't made a video yet is because I keep thinking of all these ideas to make a video about, and then I keep talking myself out of them because I think they're really stupid. But I finally found one that I think is worth talking about. Okay, let's start with some background information. So if any of you guys watch BuzzFeed, you know that recently they've been doing a bunch of videos that are like, if this race said what white people say to this race. Okay, wait. Before I go any further, I just want to say that this is not an attack on BuzzFeed in any way. This is just from looking at all of the comments, the thousands and thousands of comments, there has been so much hate and just fighting back and forth, unintelligent fighting, I may add. And I just want to go off of those comments and try to find some kind of middle ground. Now, I think it would be fine for BuzzFeed to make those videos if they also made videos that correspond with those that say if white people said the things other races say to white people. I agree that probably sounds like a really controversial statement, but before we can determine that, let's look at the arguments of both sides. One, of Caucasian people, and two, of the other races that BuzzFeed is making these videos about. Alright, so let's first start with the most ignorant of arguments. First with white people. So one thing a lot of people are saying is that, oh my god, like white people do not say these things. All of my friends are fine and we're good people and we never say things like that. Seriously? Everybody says things like that, even if you're just joking around with your friends. Now, if it's with your friends and they honestly do not get offended by it and they have not told you to stop, okay, whatever, like that's your choice, that's your friend's choice, do whatever you want. But if your friend is genuinely hurt by what you're saying and they've told you that and you continue to do it, then you're inflicting hurt on them and therefore it comes across as racist and you should probably stop doing that. Examples. This would be like telling your Asian friend that they're not allowed to get B's because all Asians are smart and they have to get A's. Or if something goes missing from your teacher's desk, you blame your black friend because all black people must be criminals. Or if your Latino friend runs quickly and you say, oh, that's how you got over the border. Stuff like that. And you know what? I better not get hate for saying black people because I was going to say African Americans, but not all black people come from Africa. So, there. Some examples of these comments towards white people would be saying things like, oh, white people can't dance, or all white people are rich, or like the thousands of people are saying in the YouTube comments, and like I hear all the time, white people are ignorant. So, those are the racist kind of comments I'm talking about, and unless your friend says it's okay, do not say that because that is stereotyping, and obviously stereotyping leads to racism. So, that was an example of ignorance on a white person's side. So, let's move over to ignorance on a different race's side. Something that's undeniable in today's culture is how if a white person makes a comment that's not even trying to be racist, everyone has a heart tag and labels that person as a racist. However, if a person of a different race says something about white people or openly hates towards a different race, it's not considered racism because they're not white. That is absolutely not okay. Racism exists among all races, not just in white people, and it's completely ignorant to say that white people are the only people that are racist. And on a lot of these comments, and even in real life, I see people of different races saying that it's okay to say these hate comments towards white people because white people of previous generations have oppressed their race. Now, it's no question that in the past, white people have oppressed basically every race there is to be oppressed, but that was back when we were colonizing the world and things like that. It's not okay for our generation's different race people to be justifying their hate comments towards white people on things based on hundreds of years ago. Our generation is not responsible for that. That was our ancestors. Now, obviously, that's one of the greatest embarrassments and the worst things of humankind, but there's nothing we can do to change that now. That happened in the past, and obviously we're sorry, we're horribly sorry, we feel bad for that, but you know what, we should not have to be sorry. That was their mistake, that is not our mistake. Obviously, the world is changing, people have civil rights, and I know there's still discrimination and obviously racism, but that exists within all races. And if we're focusing on oppression, white people have been oppressed by other white people as well. So, what I'm saying is, it's England's fault. I'm just kidding, it's not England's fault. But yeah, oppression exists everywhere, like in the past with the Greeks and the Romans, and when settlers came to the United States, they were oppressed by England, which motivated us to get our freedom, and even in France with the French Revolution, people were oppressed by their own government, and every country has faced oppression, especially today, like with the oppression of Ukraine from Russia, or in the Middle East with all these countries that have human rights issues. Oppression exists everywhere, and it always will, and it's absolutely not a reason to justify hate and racist comments towards other races. Okay, that was a bit of a rant, and I feel like a lot of non-white people are going to be saying that I'm just another ignorant white person. But I'm not. I'm trying to find a middle ground here. I completely see other people's point that white people do make a lot of what can be seen as racist comments. But we're not the only races that do that. Other races do that to white people, they do it to different races, and they do it among themselves. So it's unfair if a different race says something to another member of their race that is not considered racist, but if white people were to say the same thing, that it is considered racist. The way to stop racism is not arguing about which race is the most racist. The way to stop it is to stop making stupid, ignorant comments towards other races and just agree that oppression happens and racism happens, and obviously those people are bad people and they're not open-minded. So if we all just agree on that and stop making these comments, then we should be able to end discrimination. Now, obviously that's easier said than done since we have a lot of stubborn people who like to argue on the internet for no apparent reason, and a lot of stubborn people in real life who refuse to see anybody else's point of view on anything. So, it might take us a while to get to that point, but I hope you understand the point of the video. And I know I kind of started off my first video with a controversial topic. It's gotta start with a bang. So hopefully there will be some lighter topics in the future, and if you guys like this one, then I'll keep making more. Bye. Also, if you guys want to comment and have a little debate about this, then feel free. I'd appreciate some different points of view on everything, and I love to hear what other people have to say, but like I said, don't be ignorant and don't make stupid comments, because I will ignore them. But if you want to have an intelligent debate, let's do it. I like spinning.